Welcome to a Killer Collab podcast. Today I'm being joined by one of my good friends that we were working on three movies now. Three movies. Chris Lato from Reaper Films. Today we're going to go through a podcast of 10 movies that you probably never heard of or seen. Chris and I both put together a list of five movies that we thought were pretty prevalent in our in the genre of unknown movies. Some you will know, some you may have heard of, some you have never seen or never heard of. Is what we're hoping for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a preview of, or if you're listening on the podcast, you're just going to hear the preview on the in your ears, not on your eyes. But you can also watch this on YouTube for that preview. I don't know, Chris, you want to talk about yourself or what you're working on right now?
Talk about me?
Yeah, talk about you. Let's see what what you do, what you're working on now, or anything like that.
Yeah, my name's Chris Lato. I have a production company called Reaper Films. Basically, a micro budget filmmaker, mostly horror movies. So far this year, we're working on our third movie, feature, since June. We made a movie called Naked Cannibal Campers, which has done pretty well for us so far. And
pretty good following on that too. I've been watching that on the Facebook page and all that. Pretty good following.
Yeah, we did pretty well with it so far. And then we got a movie we just finished shooting and editing. We're about to release it probably in the next month or so, called Zed's Dead. And yeah, it's a play off of Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, basically about the pawn shop owners in Pulp Fiction. We made a movie about those two guys. That should be out in a couple months. And then we're currently casting and finishing up a script for our third feature called The Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter. And we're going to be shooting that one in late April. So that's pretty much it, what I got going on.
Pretty busy schedule. Like, how do you find time for this? Like, do you work full time?
I don't work. I've mastered the art of making money without actually working. So I probably work like 3 days out of the month. Jeez. And the rest is.
How do I get onto that? I feel like I work 7 days a week.
It's taken a long time to get to this point, but we do okay. And I work literally 3 days a month. I have a couple steady video gigs that I do, and then I have some side stuff that I do. But yeah, it opened everything up for me to be able to make more movies. And like I said, this is our third movie since June, so coming up. And most people don't do one movie in 3 years.
Yeah. So and we are in the Tampa Bay area. You guys are knowledgeable of the scene here. Very indie. There's no big houses down here that really are pushing out anything. Not that I can think of. I don't think so, right?
Diamond View Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some high-end stuff. They're over up in like the Carrollwood area.
But also that's a different talent pool too. They're working with like higher ends or higher budgets.
Yeah.
And, like
they have one of those new LED panels that they shot Mandalorian on. They have like the biggest one in the country over there.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
I'm not pushing out that.
Actually, I pushed them a little bit because my son's probably going to start an internship there in May. Wow. So pretty excited about it. He's an animation, going to be graduating in May, and 3D animation. So he's pretty excited about it.
I would too. So we're not going to sugarcoat things. We're going to jump right into it. First movie we're going to jump into is Scanner Darkly. We're going to show you the preview, and then we're going to have a discussion because he watched it. He's never seen it before, or he has, or watched it a long time ago. And just to get a little refresh so we can speak about it, we know that it didn't really have that big of a release. I think it made like 1.8 million when it first came out, and it was only out for like a couple weeks. It didn't really have a big release, so a lot of people didn't get to see it, and a lot of people didn't really see any previews for it. I know I didn't. Originally, I think I saw it. I was going through like my Amazon Fire Stick, and I just started like creep through like the different movies, and I think I found them. I was like, oh, what's this? And I saw Keanu, I saw Robert Downey Jr. Winona. I was like, how I not know this with these big names? And and this is exactly what this list for. Because I like movies that big names that are working for the art of the industry, where they just love what they do. That no big budgets. It's just them with their talent and something that they believe in, something that they love doing. And those are the kind of movies that I like, and that's where this movie comes from. All right, right now, Scanner Darkly.
It may just be my imagination. Whatever it is that's watching, it's not human.
Gentlemen, you are about to witness for approximately 61 cents the perfect homemade silencer. That sure is some silencer.
Just drive over to my place, kick back, get some tequila.
They're in my hair, my skin. They're all over the place. This is a world getting progressively worse. Can we not agree on that? What's on the dessert menu?
Damage has taken place to the normally dominant left hemisphere, and the right hemisphere is attempting to compensate.
Two hemispheres of my brain are competing.
Yes.
I could be murdered.
How'd I get here?
I tip my hat to any entity that could bring so much integrity to evil.
What if they come in through the back door or bathroom window like that infamous Beatles song?
Just sacrifice someone without them ever knowing it.
What does a scanner see? Into the head, into the heart. Does it see into me? Clearly. Or darkly?
It's awe-inspiring stuff.
So that's a Scanner Darkly right now. I like the way I love the way it looks. I think they said something about it. It's just an overlay. They look like it's
actual people acting, and then they just kind of put like some
filter on it. Yeah.
Over them.
Yeah. They've been using that technology for forever, since even early Disney days. Like they would just have them animation suits, and they just animated right over them in those motions. But yeah, that movie is about it's in the future, set in the future.
Well, it says 7 years from now, so that could be any time.
Well, technically, I guess it's future proof then.
Right. It could be any time. 7 years from whatever day you're watching it.
Yes, exactly. And it's about a drug that gets pretty much. I think it's got a 70% addiction rate in that culture at that time. And Keanu plays an undercover police officer or a federal agent or something like that, and he's trying to get to the root of this drug, who's dealing it, where it's coming from, the biggest dealers, trying to get the supplier. The regular, get the supplier type of pursuit of the drug dealer and the drug world. And he wears a scramble suit. Basically, it's like it just morphs into everything and anything of any different type of facial feature, clothing, person, pretty much anything.
Right.
That scramble suit is so no one can know his true identity because he's undercover. So you don't really want to have like yourself being coming into whatever agency you're working for or being known who you are. Even the people that you work with don't even know who you are.
Right.
That's how in depth undercover that is. What did you think?
I thought it was a cool movie. It had awesome performances. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is always on top of his game, no matter what role he plays. And this was probably right when he
06.
came out
It was
of his,
before. It was. Yeah. It was right as his addiction
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Because this was 2 years or 3 years before even Marvel.
Right.
I think Marvel came out in 08.
Now,
This
if
was
you think
06.
about it, I mean, pretty much everybody that was in that movie, this is from 2006, has
15 years ago.
They all have like huge roles now. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to think Keanu Reeves with John Wick.
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr., obviously Iron Man, Winona Ryder in Stranger Things.
Yep.
Woody Harrelson is about to play Carnage
Yep.
in one of the Marvel movies.
I always liked Woody Harrelson. I forgot that he was
Woody's
in this
great.
movie. I forgot he was in this movie for some reason. I don't know why. As soon as I saw him on the film, I was like, oh, how did I forget?
Yeah, Woody's awesome.
Yep.
I liked him from White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of my favorite movies with him.
Absolutely.
And Kingpin are really funny movies.
Mm-hmm. He's
But
really
yeah, I
talented.
mean, overall, this was a cool movie. It was interesting, and again, the animation was kind of trippy at times.
But it was meant to do that because
yeah.
it was a drug. Like, you were meant to not know what was reality, what was not.
Right.
You were supposed to be in, like, Keanu's mind and see what was, like, reality. He didn't know what was reality.
Right.
And that's ultimately what you figure out in the movie.
Sure.
That he's losing touch.
Right.
Because undercover's getting to him. As it does in most movies.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm in too deep here.
But yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Absolutely. It's definitely a recommendation.
Definitely worth a watch.
And it's, like I said, it's great performances by big stars that you know. Like, there's not even the one guy in the beginning. He's from was it Empire? I think he was in Empire Records. I can't remember his name. I really can't remember his name. But he does a good performance as being the test subject of being the very addicted person in the beginning. He's all feeling like bugs on him, scratching, and it was like he doesn't know. He was like he's literally lost touch of reality. I really forget his name. Like, I haven't watched that movie in a couple years.
Roy Cochrane? It was Freck, right?
Freck.
Yeah, Roy Cochrane.
Yep. He does a great performance in that as well.
Yeah, he was in Empire Records.
Yeah,
very good.
Oh yeah. And Empire Records is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, of all time. I just always, but that's the one movie that made me always want to be working in a record store. That was the movie. That was like Rex Manning. Like I just say no more.
I worked in a video store. So.
I always wanted to do that too. I always wanted to do that too.
It had its good points and bad points.
Yeah.
But, 3 movies was like perk.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason why I worked there. 3 movies.
Absolutely.
And you get them a week before they came out. So that was cool.
Yeah. It's another reason I used to always want to work for a movie theater, so I can get all those perks. Dreams of being the simple life, where thinking we can pay all our bills on those.
Minimum wage.
Even at this time. All right, next movie. What movie was that?
Stoker.
Yes, Stoker. Here we go.
You know, I've often wondered why it is we have children. And the conclusion I've come to is we want someone to get it right this time. But not me. Personally speaking, I can't wait to watch life tear you apart.
Indigo, is something wrong?
Yes. My father is dead.
Richard Stoker was a family man, taken from us by a cruel twist of fate, the reasons for which are unknown.
India, come and say hello to your Uncle Charlie.
Hello, India.
I'm curious about what happened to my father.
Hey, Stoker, what do you go by, Stroker now? Because I hear that's what your mom's been doing to your uncle.
Couldn't we talk about you living here with Charlie like this?
It's a bad habit, you know.
Sneaking up on people?
Following uncles around.
You were supposed to love me, weren't you?
She's of age.
Of age for what?
You have no idea. Too cold down there?
I don't think so.
People disappear all the time. Pack a small bag
What do you want from me?
to be friends.
We don't need to be friends. family.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Stoker's like the thing with Stoker, if you don't like slow moving, slow burns with a payoff, then it's probably not for you. The thing that stands out to me in Stoker is one, the cinematography is amazing in this movie.
And that is one thing I did like about that movie.
There's some shots in this movie that are just amazing. And the performances, her name's Mio, I can't ever pronounce this girl's name, Wasikowska, I guess. I think she played in the Alice in Wonderland movies, I think. Is that the same girl?
I don't know. I'm not too familiar.
And then, Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah, it's a great performance. Great performance.
Dermot Mulroney.
Yeah.
And Matthew Good.
Definitely a slow burn though.
Yeah.
Definitely, it took me a while to get into the groove. She did remind me of that one girl from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Rooney Mara.
Yeah, like to a T. Like she just reminded me. Like I think she looked a lot like her.
Yeah, she does. And Nicole Kidman always gives a good performance.
Yep.
And but again, it's a slow burn.
Kind of
probably
twisted.
Not for everybody. A little twisty stuff
with
here
the
and there.
uncle.
It's basically about a girl that her dad dies, and then her uncle shows up, and she didn't even know he existed.
Yep.
And starts pretty much living with them, and she thinks he's up to no good, and
as you would say,
stuff happens from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely worth a watch. It's like I said, the cinematography and performances alone, make it stand out to me.
Visually, it's really nice. Beautifully done. Visually, great performances. Like you said, it is a slow burn. If you're not into it takes a while to build up the story, build into it, and just to recognize but you do see the eventual how it plays out. You see how it builds to it.
Right.
It keeps building layer after layer after layer after layer, and then ultimately like a house of cards.
Right. And the good thing, it's only an hour and a half. It's not like a 2.5 hour slow burn. It's hour and a half. It feels a little longer actually, but
because of the scenes, it's so a lot of them are just built elaborate.
Right.
It's just that's just how it's made.
Yeah.
It's very artsy on that aspect.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Give it a watch.
Absolutely. Next movie we have. It's one of my favorites. I like. If you've never seen this, definitely watch it. Chef. Wow, let me say this.
This is madness, huh?
Let's try a salad. Check it out.
Wow. Chef Big Dog up all night cooking. Sit up and taste this amuse douche. Come here, guy. Look at that.
You like it?
Yeah.
We're gonna cook like this. We're being reviewed by the most important critic in the city.
Now suddenly you're going to be an artist. Well, be an artist on your own time. It's my restaurant.
You threatening to fire me now?
I'm telling you what I'm prepared to do if you don't cook my menu.
It's up to reviews out. His dramatic weight gain can only be explained by the fact that he must be eating all the food sent back to the kitchen.
You didn't like what they wrote about me?
I don't like it either.
Who cares?
I do, because I could have done better. I should have cooked food that I was gonna cook.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't do it. What are you writing?
Chef, that's not a good idea. Just listen. I won't send it until we all say it's okay. Why don't you come by again tonight? I got a whole new menu just for you.
No.
That's not good.
Give me the phone. Give me the phone.
Don't do it. That's out there now,
This happens. Why would you do that?
can't take that back.
Dad, did you post anything since last night?
You gotta be kidding.
Wow.
You realize how many people have read this? You're trending, bro.
You're never going to be happy cooking for someone else.
Food truck's a great idea. We're talking about a white-on-white 88 Chevy Grumman food truck. It's a blank canvas for your dreams. I'm gonna have them pull it around. Thank you. Don't thank me till you see it.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna laugh. Cody, Carl's got a taco truck. For real? I was so jealous when I heard your voice. I was like, that's what I want to do.
I get to touch people's lives with what I do, and I love it. And I want to share this with you.
You ever try andouille sausage?
No.
It's spicy. You like spicy?
No.
It's not so spicy. Come on. Gente de zona. Una vez más.
Oh, chef. Absolutely. I love the movie. Like, it's Jon Favreau. This was while he was doing the whole Marvel thing. This was his break. He wanted, basically, it was like subliminally like him saying that he just wanted to break out of the conformity of the big Hollywood, and he wanted to just make something from scratch. He wrote it, produced it, directed it, even acted in it. Like, he is so talented.
And this is from 2014, and he's just now getting recognized as an amazing director.
Yes.
And
yes.
writer and producer.
Yep.
You know, he's doing The Mandalorian. He just, you know, he did Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's super talented. I remember watching Swingers.
Yes.
Back with Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
And that movie was like so crazy. And he again wrote and produced that one. And
he's just so good. His mind is probably one of the best minds in cinema today.
For sure.
He just has so much going on. Like, up here, it's just like,
yeah, that's the kind of guy, the director, you just give him the keys to the castle and let him do whatever he.
And that's what Disney's basically doing with him right now.
Right, and I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun movie, and it's the kind of movie that makes you want to like open your own restaurant.
Yeah.
I love cooking shows.
I was in restaurant and bar industry for 15 years. Like, this movie just spoke to me. Like, it basically leaving corporate life and just like breaking down all the walls and just like, I'm gonna do this myself, how I want it, how I feel that it should be done.
Right.
And that's both. He pulled out all the stops. And underlining, he built his relationship with his son.
Right.
Great cast. It's got Robert Downey. I don't know what
Robert. I forgot Scarlett was in that movie.
No, yeah, I love her. I think she's still one of my biggest crushes in like all of TV, like all of movies. Like, she's up there.
Yeah,
but it's got Robert Downey Jr. It's got Sofia Vergara, Dustin Hoffman, John Leguizamo. He's hilarious. I've loved him since
Leguizamo's awesome.
Forever. Like, I don't know, but like that story it's just breaking through the restraints from corporate life or just anything holding you back.
Right.
He gives you the hope and desire to just break down those walls and just you feel like everything is on you. You can do anything you want. I think that's one thing I like doing with film and any production like this. Like there's no boundaries for us. Like, I love it. That's why this movie's supposed to be not only being in restaurants and for 15 years, but I've worked in corporate for, I'm not going to say the names, I don't want to get sued, but like just some of those like restrictions and rules and restraints, like exactly. Now, like it does make me want to open a restaurant, but at the same time, it gives me the idea like I could do anything that I want, and that's why I do what I do now. So if you have something that's holding you back, watch this movie. It probably will give you the idea, and it'll like instill in you the desire to just give you the motivation to do it. And I think that's why this is a good movie to do it.
Yeah, I think Chef and Ratatouille are two of my favorite
I think you just like food
based movies.
Yeah. But absolutely, Ratatouille, same thing with design and food, and same thing with that movie. Like, he just didn't want to be restrained, and he just like Ratatouille. I mean, he just built a man. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that was my pick right there.
We probably should have did this one last because I'm hungry now.
I'm always hungry though. Like, I mean, I feel like I could eat like 20 times a day. All right, that's a good one. But next one we are doing, I Saw the Devil. Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The movie is subtitled,
Yes.
so if that's not your thing, sorry.
My name is Michelle, and I'm living proof that TMS therapy works.
You're gonna miss out if that's not your thing. But yeah, this movie is super violent. It's a South Korean movie.
Yeah.
Super violent, like over the top gore.
How long do you think it takes to get redone in America?
Oh, I mean, God, this movie's pretty old.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when it came out. Let's see.
It definitely twisted. I couldn't get into it because I, like a lot of people, are not into the subtitles. I just can't get into them. I mean,
Yeah, 2010.
but the scenes, like, I mean, it looked good, looked beautiful.
Yeah, the look of the movie, the gore again is just like top notch. It's basically about a cop that's on the trail of a serial killer, and he knows who he is, and it's kind of this cat and mouse back and forth the whole movie. Like he literally catches them and then lets them go again, just so he can catch them again. Like it's kind of a weird movie.
Weird cat and
But
mouse.
yeah, the gore in this movie is like crazy. And it's just it's a really cool movie. I'm a big horror fan, so I don't really do a lot of foreign, but
Yeah.
there's a couple.
How did
that
this one get
I'll
on your
watch
radar?
as subtitles. I don't know. I mean, it's
The title.
again, it's
Might have
what,
been the title.
11 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think around that time there was a lot of movies with devil in the title.
Yeah.
Like Devil's.
Is that when like all the Sinister movies came out? Is that one around the
It
same
was like
time?
when all those found footage
Oh, okay.
movies came out.
Okay.
Like what was that one called? There was a movie with devil in the title. Devil's.
I don't know. I can't think of that. I don't know. But
I don't know.
and a lot of things come up as recommendations for when you watch a lot of these streaming services. Like like if you like this, you'll like this.
Right.
A lot of times movies will come up like that. That's how a lot of movies come
I
up.
don't even know how I stumbled upon. I think I'm big on like I'm in a lot of Facebook groups that talk about obscure movies like indie stuff that you've never heard of, and
Yeah.
I'll watch the trailer if it looks interesting. I'll try to find it and watch it. And I think this was just one of those things where it was recommended on a Facebook post or something.
And when you have all that time that you have,
and I watched it. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a cool movie. And if you like top-notch horror and don't mind subtitles, give it a watch.
Yeah, definitely. Like the action sequence, like it's just so
Yeah.
much going on for it.
And that opening scene.
Yes,
Oh my god.
and that'll just scare you, even if it was silent.
That opening scene's crazy. Like I don't even think there's any dialogue.
Yeah,
in
I
that
don't think
scene.
so either.
Yeah,
I just think it just
it grabs you.
slaps you in the face.
Yeah.
And I think I watched that, and then all of a sudden the next scene, I hear the Korean. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like I got set up for it.
But you know, if they did an American version, they would just mess it up.
No, unless they brought that director, like they've been doing those, bringing those directors over.
Oh, so they bring the actual director of
Yeah.
the movie to make.
Well, they make that style of director
Right.
over so they can have some of their roots in it, and that's what they've been doing with a couple of movies that they've been, I guess, transforming to American.
Right. Good.
But
so hopefully we'll get some good stuff coming out.
I hope so. Next movie on our list, Margin Call.
Mr. Dale.
This is Paramount Plus. This is
Are extraordinary times, as you very well must know.
I don't understand.
The majority of this floor is being let go today.
Eric, I'm very sorry. I was working on something, but they wouldn't let me finish it. So take a look at it. Be careful. Yellow, I need you guys to come back up here. Wait a second. Just trust me, okay? I need you guys back here now. Wait a minute, what am I looking at? This figure here. Whoa, is that? It gets ugly in a hurry. Is that figure right? Looks pretty right to me. There are $8 trillion of paper around the world relying on that equation.
Oh, we were wrong.
No, you mean you were wrong. Sir, if those assets decrease by just 25%, that loss would be greater than the current market capitalization of this entire company. How long would it take to clear that from our books? You cannot be doing what you're thinking of doing. Sell it all today. You're selling something that you know has no value.
So that we may survive. There are 3 ways to make a living in this business. Be first, be smarter, or cheat.
Look at these people wandering around with absolutely no idea what's about to happen.
You're a very important piece of this puzzle. Are you in on this?
I can tell you that people are going to say some very nasty things about what we do here today.
We're going down, and you damn well know it'll be together.
I'm not sure that I do know that. The ground is shifting below our feet. Remember this day, boys. Remember this day.
Margin Call, 2011. This cast, there's not much I can like. It's amazing. The great Jeremy Irons, Paul Bettany,
Kevin Spacey, Stanley Tucci,
Demi Moore,
Quinto. I mean, it just goes on and on.
like
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, I didn't really know Paul Bettany too much. I think I saw him just in Da Vinci Code, and then before that, I really didn't know of him.
Right.
But huge fan, even with the most recent stuff. But yes, he's great in the most recent stuff.
He's awesome.
With WandaVision and Marvel. But this cast, like it, I mean, not a lot. This is a true story. This is what happened in 2008 when everything collapsed, and this is the beginning of it. This is the deck of cards falling on itself. This cast, I mean, this movie is about this trader company trading stocks and realizing the downward trend of where everything is going and how it's going to affect the United States. Pretty much at that point, they know what's going to happen, and they wanted to be ahead of the curve so they didn't lose everything, which a lot of people did. This movie is Stanley Tucci is a risk management officer who notices this trend he's been working on something for weeks and possibly like 2 months or something like that, and he notices the downward trend and how it's happening. He sees the fluctuations in the number, and then all of a sudden there's layoffs that day, and he gets laid off. Like the head of risk management, he gets laid off, and basically 80% of the entire floor gets laid off that day. And then obviously with the downward trends and allocations, that basically that's what was happening.
Right.
And it was not something they could see, but he saw it coming. He just didn't know how much it was going to happen.
Right.
And then he gets laid off, and then Zachary Quinto and I can't remember the guy with him. I think he was a trader.
Oh, that's Penn Badgley.
I didn't know him. I didn't really know. I mean, I've seen him.
He's in the show, the popular show on Netflix called You.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he's the lead in that.
Yes.
He's really good. And I think he was on Gossip Girl before that.
I know nothing about Gossip Girl.
I watched Gossip.
No judgment here.
But yeah, when like the opening of the movie is kind of when everybody's getting laid off and stuff, and they're telling people, hey, you're not working here no more. And then the movie kind of grabs you. Stanley Tucci goes into a elevator, and Zachary Quinto's basically telling him, saying bye to him.
Yep.
And Stanley Tucci gives him a flash drive and says, "Be careful." And that is like kind of when it grabs you.
You have no idea.
You don't know what it's on there.
Yeah.
And and then
like, is someone gonna die? What's gonna happen?
Right.
Like,
as the movie goes on, it kind of tells you more of what that flash drive was about, and then some other stuff happens.
But this movie has so much, like, it's thrilling, it's suspenseful. You don't know, like, and the music sets it off. The great acting ability of this great cast. I can't speak enough for this cast.
Yeah, the cast.
And just the words that they speak, how they speak it, the mood setting,
right.
Like, it just hits you. You're pulled in. Like, what is going to happen? Right. What is happening? I don't know all these numbers, what they're saying, trillions and billions. Like, we don't really have anything to, like, associate it with,
right.
Until you, like, at the end, you'll figure it out. But you actually see, like, it's like the 08 crisis. It's based on that. So,
and it's got kind of a Wall Street vibe to it.
Yes.
There was another movie called The Big Short that came out a few years ago. Actually, didn't that win Oscar? For
Big Short?
Big
Yeah.
Short? I think it did.
Yeah.
So it's similar, similar movie based on pretty much the same stuff. And this movie, Margin Call, is supposed to be about Lehman Brothers and Merrill Lynch. They're two firms, like, story-wise, and what they tried to pull on the American public, and caused basically the crash in 2008.
Oh yeah. We know that all too well. A lot of us are still feeling some of the problems from it, or seeing some trends that were over the last couple of years.
Right.
Yep. Oh, but that movie, it's very, like, it does grip you. You definitely want to watch that movie. It's something. Like,
I had never seen it till you recommended it, and I watched it. And,
just the power of the spoken word, like, compared to, like, real suspense, real thrillers, this movie just gives you the sense of how powerful words can be.
Absolutely.
Like, and how setting the tone of something is so important, especially in movies. Like, they were in one building. This happened over one day.
Yeah, it's about 3/4 of the way through the movie. I was like, this movie took place all in one office. Like,
yes, one
no
office building. They went to Stanley Tucci's house. That's it.
Roof, and then they went to Tucci's house for like 3 minutes.
That's it.
That was it. The rest of the movie's in an office.
And it gripped you the entire way.
Yeah.
Like, definitely watch this movie. The dialogue, the back and forth of everybody. Paul Bettany's character, I love this character.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning you weren't supposed to. He was the whatever guy. I make so much money. Like, he was that, but then he total change. Definitely watch that movie. It'll definitely get you into see. If you know anything or want to know more about the 08 crisis and the downfall of all that, definitely watch that movie. You'll know a little bit more of how it happened, what was happening. Just have an idea of, pretty much how it unfolded.
Yeah,
in different company in boardrooms. Lots of money was lost.
Yeah.
Next movie we got.
And I gotta get construction crews in here by Columbus Day, so you got a guesstimate how long?
I've got 4 really good guys. 1 week, we're gone.
That's fast.
I need the job.
So the loonies are outside in the real world, and here we are with the keys to the loony bin, boys.
Might actually want to be grateful when you're about to make some decent money.
What's the catch? Patricia Willard scandal, 1984.
I want you to try to remember what happened 24 years ago.
Use your imagination.
These shrinks figured that with these new techniques they designed, they could release hidden memories.
You got me.
You okay?
I want to go home.
I wouldn't tell anybody about this. If they find out about Hank, they're gonna find out about the others.
What are the others?
I want to come home. I am so sorry.
So when I worked at Blockbuster, there were 2 movies I would always recommend because everybody was, hey, what do you recommend?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Part of the job.
2 of the movies, Donnie Darko and Session 9, and those were my 2 go-tos for obscurity that
Yeah.
people were like, what the hell is that? What Session 9 brings to the table is atmosphere. Like, I don't know of any other movie in history that builds a more creepy, eerie atmosphere than Session 9. It's basically about these guys that get hired to clean up an insane asylum that's been shut down, and they're basically removing all the asbestos out of the place. And they start like venturing off and kind of seeing things and hearing things. And one guy finds a box of tapes from a patient and interviews with a patient, and those are creepy as hell.
Patient
But
444.
just atmosphere. I don't even know if this movie has a big payoff. I mean, it's a slow burn, but just that.
But you have a
what's
feeling.
in the dark.
But you just have a
like you
gives
feel
you a
like
feeling.
something's like not right.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
super cool movie. David Caruso's in it.
Mhm.
This is back when he was like CSI. He just started CSI, so he was kind of the it guy at the time. Came out in 2001.
And the other guy's in CSI too.
Is he?
The other, yeah.
But if you're into like
caretaker.
if you're into creepy, spooky movies, ghost movies, I think you'll like Session 9.
I think it reminded me of Identity. For some
Yeah,
reason, I think
I
it
can
reminded
see
me a
that.
little bit of Identity, where they're in one location and just just creepy atmosphere. You don't know really what's going on. It's just building up to it. And that was the movie that came to mind when I first saw this.
Yeah. So this one, it slipped through the cracks over the years, and
2001.
I recommend it to a lot of people, and actually I recommended it to Sean, a buddy of mine who we don't like anything the same.
Did he watch it?
And he liked it.
Oh,
So
oh
he
wow,
watched
he liked it.
So that was like, what? You actually liked it? He's like, yeah, I kind of liked it. So,
that says a lot.
Yeah, it does say a lot actually. When we agree on something, it's like the worlds are colliding, and it's weird, but because that never happens.
No, definitely.
So, all right.
And they work on a lot of movies together. Just giving you guys a little filler in there. Chris and then Sean work on a lot of movies together, work on the same projects, and they often don't see eye to eye.
Yeah. It's more of we come up with 2 different ideas, yell at each other a little bit, and then come up with an idea and do it.
Oh yeah. It's a very interesting process that I've witnessed a few times.
Right. It works. It works for some reason, but
hey, but it works.
Yeah.
It get the ideas out there. Next movie is one of my choices.
This country is a land of dreams. It can be a hard place, a cruel place, but it's where I work.
And I dream of a better life for my son. So, what do you think?
Blasco's truck? That's alright. I've seen it before.
It's not Blasco's truck anymore. It's ours.
You ain't got a license.
Don't say that too loud, okay? This truck is my only chance to make this grow into something big. So we can move out of here and get you in a better school.
Well, son. Yeah, I gotta bounce. Alright, Louis. Be easy. Gotta talk about your future.
I'll make something out of this business.
Good for you. Have fun.
Oh, mijo. Good for us.
What happened?
They stole it.
They jacked the truck?
I have to find it.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Please, this is my problem.
Nah, this is our problem.
I don't know what's going to happen to us.
You ain't gotta worry about me.
And I do worry. I worry about you all the time.
Papa, why did you have me?
To be able to take care of you and watch you grow. Because I love you. You're the most important thing in this world to me, mijo. Well, that's why I had you. For me. For a reason to live.
Okay, a better life. Now, I really like this movie. It's about Mexican immigrants who the father came over and he just been busting his butt to give his son the life that just the American dream. He's undocumented. It came out in 2011. And like most recent events, this is what they go through. This is based on true events. This is a real mentality, the real fear that they go through every single day. Are the police gonna get me? Or someone gonna find me? So it's like this is the fear that they have every day. But at the same time, they're trying to fulfill the American dream.
Right.
So they work so hard to just to have something, just to buy a truck. He worked just so hard just to buy a truck and to give a better life to his son. Um, the story starts with the father. He's busted his butt as a landscaper. He's for hire for work. His son is in a not so great school in an environment where he's just not. His father's away so much that he's not able to be in his son's life. He works probably 16, 17-hour days just to put food on the table, to pay the bills, just to try to get ahead. And it's just through the movie, you start to feel for the father, and you start to, understand and start. It's an emotional ride. It's definitely something that you have to just watch all the way through because it's just something that it's just something you can't comprehend until you understand or step in their shoes or just understand what they go through every day. It's crippling. It's just I don't know how they do it, but a lot of love and a lot of appreciation goes out to that community.
Yeah, for sure.
It's anyway. He just tries to keep his son out of like the thug life and trying to make sure he doesn't go into gangs or doesn't get into trouble. But slowly, in the beginning, his son is just going down that wrong path because his father just can't be there when he's trying. Yeah, he's trying to provide for his son, trying to put him in a better situation, trying to give him a better future, trying to bring him to a better neighborhood, better school, and it's just not seen by the son of how or why he's not there. The son just doesn't understand it. He just doesn't get it, and it's just heartbreaking. Based on true events, I don't know if it doesn't really have payoff. It's just a real gripping story. And you should, I recommend it a watch. I know. Have you what you thought about it? Or?
Well, I watched. I watched. I got about 40 minutes into it, and the link that I was watching the movie on didn't have subtitles. And there's not a lot, but I'd say I got to that point, and they started speaking a lot of Spanish.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost what was happening in the movie, and so I turned it off. But it was good. Like I was enjoying it up to that point.
Yeah,
And
they get
I'm
into the heart and
sure at
soul of
some point, if it comes on Netflix or Hulu or something like that, then I'll end up watching it, the rest of it. But yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't
Yeah.
finish it was because the subtitles were not on, and I couldn't figure out another way to watch it with subtitles. So.
Yeah, and I have a restricted understanding of Spanish. I grew up in a Hispanic household where I used to live, and just so I picked up on a lot of the language and understanding of it. So I was able to follow it pretty well. But this movie is a definitely recommendation. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 100%. Just the understanding, it gave it 100% for the story and just the whole movie. It's 100%. And I definitely recommend it. They recommend it. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it because it gives you an understanding of their lifestyle, what they go through. Like it is definitely gripping and heartbreaking, and just I definitely recommend.
Again, I had never heard of it until you said something about it, and
they're definitely different avenues.
Yeah,
like
sure.
the movies that you recommend, I had no idea,
Right.
no idea. But that's the best part of doing something like this, where we come from different walks of life. Yeah, expands your portfolio. Absolutely. Next movie.
One sound down here, and I'll kill the both of you.
Nothing in my life has been right since the summer of 1958.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
A time when even the guilty displayed a rare innocence.
See anything?
Not even a goddamn elbow.
Hold it. Wait.
He wants to sleep over there again.
What, next door?
I'm Meg. I'm David.
There are 2 young girls living at the Chandlers now.
So?
I hear you better. Oh, your cousin. Yeah, down by the rock. Cute too, ain't she? What's that? He ran an accident. Both parents died too. Mom says he must have died instantly. He stopped by to get this David.
She's something, isn't she? Mrs. Chandler must love having her around.
Tent worms. I'll do this one, and you can do the rest, okay?
I don't want to. David? Hey, Meg, how's it going? I haven't eaten in almost 2 days. With heaps of log.
I don't care what you do anymore, bitch! Your sister is a goddamn bitch!
Nothing I ever do is right. Doesn't sound like you're fine now.
Not so fun when it's your precious sister getting slapped around. Teach you to pick on people your own size.
You brought a cop here. After my mother!
Best policy, mind your own business. That's how you stay out of trouble.
So you think any more about it? About what? Getting Meg into the game? We got our own game now.
You want to think about one thing, girl. Well, 2 things, actually. First, it could be your little sister hanging here instead of you. And second, I know some of the bad things you've done, and I'm kind of interested to hear them, so maybe this confessor isn't such a kid's game after all. I can hear it from the one of you, or I can hear it from the other. You just think about that.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, this movie, Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door. So there's 2 movies that I will never ever watch again, and
Could have said that ahead of time.
one is Ari Aster's Hereditary, and 2 is Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door. I've seen Martyrs, I've seen Serbian Film, I've seen you know all the disturbing movies, and this one like really stuck with me for like weeks. I kept thinking about this movie, and it's based on a true story. And there's another movie called An American Crime, which is basically the same story, same movie, and that one has Ellen Page in it. She plays the girl, and it's basically about a girl that goes next door to these crazy lady's house with her kids, and they're like teenagers, And it starts off as kind of a coming of age movie, and then it's like so vile and disturbing and disgusting what they do to this poor girl. So if you're into kind of like disturbing stuff and you want to push the limits of what you think is disturbing, definitely give this one a watch. But again, I will never watch it again.
I couldn't even get past.
Bothered me that much.
I couldn't even get past. Like I just read it, read the synopsis.
He read the synopsis.
I couldn't even. Do, well, I have a thing. I don't like seeing kids being hurt
I don't think
I just
anybody
can't.
does.
But I'm to a degree because I coach kids. I want to volunteer with the sick kids in hospitals. Like
Right.
I don't like seeing kids being hurt or anything happening to kids. I can't deal with like storylines. Like I cringe at it just because it happens to these kids.
Right.
But I mean, I like the story. I like it. I know nothing really happens, but at the same, except for the kid under in the sewer. But other than that, nothing really happens. But with this, just the synopsis. I just couldn't even. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I couldn't do like Sinister. I couldn't do a movie like that. Even there was like some kids.
This makes Sinister look like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I can't. No. I just can't do it. It just hurts my soul.
Yeah,
it peels pieces of my soul off just by thinking about it.
I mean, I'm kind of into psychological,
I think it's a little bit more than
disturbing stuff, but this movie like stuck with me for a long time and could not get it out of my head. Some of the things that happened in this movie, and it's pretty rough.
But if you like stuff like that, if you like something that'll linger, and probably give you some nightmares and some cringe-worthy, I just even the preview, just the opening to that preview, just didn't want to. Oh man, I just don't even. I can't do it. But God bless you if you can. Please, God bless you.
Give it a watch, but I will never watch it again. It was that disturbing.
Yeah, it's. But I hear good things.
Moving on.
Next movie.
Ink.
When you go to sleep at night, do you like having dreams? Well, when you sleep, people like me come. And we give you and your family and everyone you know good dreams.
Who gives the nightmares?
I've never seen anything like it. Hey, Tucker. There's 6 of us, and we could even slow them down. What are you doing here? Emma's in the hospital. She's had a seizure.
That girl is dying. He's taking her as a sacrifice to become one of them. But there's still a chance.
You know what? I don't get this. I don't get you. I don't get this mission. What are we even doing here? We're wasting our time. A child is going to die. You're burning our time.
Death is the least of our troubles. What do you care about her? Her life means nothing.
Okay, Ink. This movie, there's no one in it. It's very low budget, but I like.
Yeah, it's really indie.
Very indie. Very like I like it because it provides a whole world of, and it's very artsy. The visualization of it, how it happens, what goes on, the thoughts that go into it with the good dreams, bad dreams, well, nightmares. But it creates that whole world of in sleep.
Yeah, it was like a world where I didn't know what was real, what was
Yes,
a dream. Like it was one of those trippy, like
exactly,
weird.
exactly. So the beginning of the movie is this young girl. She has I forget what they're called. They're this like sleep fairies or protectors, and it gives them good dreams. But every once in a while, a I forget what they're called too. But the main bad guy is called Ink. That's who the person is. He comes in and tries to kidnap her, and I like the action sequences in this. I like the choreography in it. I like because everything that they're doing is in the dream world. So basically, is
Good people were called the Incubi, right?
I can't remember. I cannot remember. It's been a while. This came out I think '09. Um, excuse me. But they say she's trying to protect the girl from Ink, and unfortunately, Ink was too powerful for her. And I like how during their fighting, they're destroying stuff, and all of a sudden, it's completely back to where the pre-state.
Yeah, like a table would shatter and then all of a sudden it gets put back together.
Yeah, because it's happening in the dream world, it's not actually happening, but it's happening in her head and happening in that whole world of sleep. So basically, when she gets kidnapped, she can't return to her body to be woken up. So basically, Ink kidnaps her into that world. So now she's been put into a coma, and the story around her is she has a father who's just not there, working all the time. He's building or going up the corporate ladder, just trying to get rich, and they don't have really a relationship. Her father, his ex-wife's parents are now watching her and taking care of her because of a car accident that happened with the mother, and the mother passed away, and then her parents took the child because he couldn't provide or couldn't be there for her. So that's the whole custody battle. I mean, that's just a side story of it. But in the dream world, she's being taken and going through all these different things. And there's people trying to attempt to rescue her to no avail. They're not able to bring her back. I'd like it visually because, like I said, it did create that world.
Yeah, it had some cool visuals.
And just the camera techniques, the haziness, just the characters. I just think it was a good idea how it came out. Like I said, the acting was it's obviously low budget. There's no big actors in it. The acting is not the greatest, but like I said, the choreography is great. I like the visualizations of it. It's really good, and I think it's a very good watch because of just if you liked artsy stuff like that and how visually and how they accomplished everything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't think I did it yet. We're not bad people, Mike. We're just underachievers that have to make up for lost time.
Mr. and Mrs. McBeth? Oh, in the case. Oh, great.
I've been a little paranoid lately.
Are you on drugs?
Please, I hand you. Work in a grill, frying fries, helping hungry people. By the time I get to my customers, they're usually dead. At least you get a chance to kill them. That greasy food.
Anyway.
I can't get enough of your love. I can't
These are modern times. You can't go around killing everybody.
get enough of your love.
Okay.
So the third movie I would always recommend at Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
Is Scotland, PA, which is Scotland, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's a little town in Pennsylvania, and it's a quirky, goofy movie based on the story of Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth, and it's I don't know, it's just a fun movie. There's something about this movie that I love it. Like it's just so quirky and it's got a great cast: Mara Tierney, Christopher Walken, James LaGrosse.
But the script, the
Yeah,
script
Tony
dialogue
didn't like the
was
script.
so weak.
Um,
Like they would have a conversation and be like, oh no, like it was just so like
right.
like
It was goofy. I agree. It was
just the way it was written. If the actor, the good actors, Christopher Walken, love him. If they had more freedom, and obviously they didn't because like the conversations or the editing was bad.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Just the dialogue was just not there. Like they would be talking about something and then all of a sudden all on a different tangent. It was just the Andy Dick segments with Amy Smart. It's just I really don't know. Andy Dick, he probably no one can constrain him.
Yeah.
They just it was like just go do what you do. Yeah. He's funny. But why am I always the rear?
Yeah.
That's what you said you like. What?
Yeah, I mean, basically the movie's about a little fast food restaurant, and the owner is about to come up with the drive-through window. Like he's about to invent the drive-through window, and there's a couple that work there, and their last name's Macbeth, and
Well, his name is Mac, and her
yeah,
hers. I don't remember the specifics. I just thought it was just really funny.
yeah, it's like Pat Macbeth and Joe Macbeth, but they call him Mac.
Yeah.
And so they basically knock off the owner and steal his idea for the drive-through window, and basically pin it off on someone else. And Christopher Walken's the investigator trying to
From a big
find
city.
out
Yeah.
what happened and who killed the guy and blah blah blah. And I don't know. It's a funny, quirky movie. If you're into that kind of thing, I recommend it. I'm sure it's not for everybody, but I just literally watched it this morning again before I came here.
It is definitely
And
quirky. I think it definitely like I said we had in private conversation where I think if it didn't have the murder, it would be a great TV show.
Right.
In Scotland, Pennsylvania, I think that would have been a great TV show, like old '90s, Malcolm in the Middle, or just a movie like that, because it does have the quirkiness, it does have the fun, it does have like the side characters, it has enough to be a show,
yeah, and it takes place in the 70s, and it's got like that. I mean, they did a great job with the 70s decor and
colors
and outfits, and I thought they did a really good job with that. And Christopher Walken's Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably my third favorite performance of his, with obviously True Romance 1 and Pulp Fiction 2. I think this is his third best performance. I don't know. I really enjoyed him in this. But
we'll have to dive a little bit more into that in future shows.
For sure.
But I love Christopher Walken pretty much in almost everything he does. Right now, I know there's a movie that I did not like that he was in. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but I will bring it up next time. But that is our number 10 movie that you possibly have never seen. If you definitely didn't see any of these movies, give it a gander. Definitely take a look, take a night out, or just if you're on a Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you have nothing to do, pop in one of these movies. It's on most of the streaming apps that you have out there.
Yeah.
That's where I found all of them.
Actually, I had a hard time with Scotland, PA, but there is a
I couldn't find Scotland.
There is
PA
a YouTube link.
It is
that
on
has
YouTube.
The full movie on it.
Quality is shitty.
Yeah, it's not the great quality, but it's there. But yeah, I couldn't even hardly find a DVD to buy. It's pretty obscure.
Yeah,
this is probably the most obscure movie of the bunch.
Yeah,
even though it had some.
I found Ink before I found Scotland, PA.
Yeah.
And no one was
Ink's
in it.
on Prime.
Yeah,
on
and Scotland, PA is nowhere to be found except for YouTube.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe it's their distribution was terrible, or I really don't.
It's a Sundance movie.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
But I found so many Sundance movies before. I don't know. But like you said, that movie, that Scotland, PA, I just would not hit it for me. Like Christopher Walken is the only thing that really kept me going. Yeah. Just because I just loved watching him on film and what he was going to say. It was He's just
captivating.
I wonder how much he cost to be in this movie.
I don't know.
Because
Probably
I think that was their whole
budget.
I was just gonna say that, like their whole budget, because there's nothing else in it. There's no kill scene except for the fryer, but you couldn't see the fryer. There was not even like you just saw him going over and the sound effect. That's really, and then the shotgun.
Yeah.
That was it. So, but like I said, if it didn't have that, it'd be a great TV show because the characters are just so out there.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think there's still a possibility for that. I think you guys should just do it, and because it's low budget, it's in Scotland. I mean, they had Office, so why can't you do this?
Right.
So, I isn't she in? No, what was she in?
Mark Tierney.
Yeah, what was she
I
in?
think she's in The Office, isn't she?
I thought she was, but no, I don't think she.
No,
was.
that's
That's the other. That's a reception.
That's not Mark Tierney.
No,
that's the heck's her name.
She was in. I really can't. I know she was in something big.
Who? Mara Tierney?
Yeah.
ER.
ER.
She was the mom in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Yes. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
Yeah. But anyway, that was our list. Please take a look, and you'll definitely be surprised, and you might find some good movies that you fall in love with.
Right.
Because we gave you something from every side of the spectrum: comedy, horror, think pieces, artsy. So it's all there.
Yeah.
We'll be back next
and
month.
It's funny when we were coming up with the list. You
Yeah.
sent me your list, and I sent you my list. I said, "Have you ever heard of any of these?" You said, "No." I was like, "All right, that's the point."
But my first list, he heard of a bunch, but
I heard a couple of yours. Yeah, just Scanner Darkly and Chef.
Yeah, well, Chef because it's Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Chef's kind of.
I just love
it
the movie
may not qualify for what we're doing here, but it's.
I mean, I think a lot
kind
of people
a
didn't see that.
teetering on the may have heard of it, may have not heard of it. But
Yeah.
I think the rest of these movies are. I mean, they're definitely obscure and.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was cool.
But
it was fun.
But we plan on doing this every month. We're doing 10 movies that you probably have never seen. But so tune in, and we're gonna do a weekly show. But we're gonna do this segment only once a month.
Right.
It gives us some time to find something obscure for you guys. But next week we'll be back with a new topic and new everything. Thank you for joining us on Killer Collab. Chris Lato, Reaper Films. You know me, Tony D, Tone Deaf from Florida. With real people, real content. Have a good one.